trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life, I find this period to be much more unsatisfactory than all those years of caring for her. In retrospect, I just didn't find that much of a burden at all.
I think that's what was so remarkable about it for me. Thank you very much for doing this, Grandpa.
Well, it was very special for me, Seth, and just looking at you and answering you with your eyes looking into mine and mine into yours, it's just great. It really is.
I love you, Grandpa.
Thank you, Seth. I love you, too.
Next, we hear from Hee-Suk Lee. She came to the United States from Korea in 1963. When she visited StoryCorps in Los Angeles, Hee-Suk's daughter, Joyce, asked her mother about her thoughts on love and marriage.
I know that, having other friends who have parents who are Korean immigrants, they've never actually seen their parents hug or kiss or show affection and emotion towards each other. So I think that's pretty unusual for a first-generation Korean couple. Can you tell me where you learned this from?
Yeah, that is a very important story. When I started going to church, I met American missionary, Bob and Argo Pinkston. They're, not young couple. They're about 60s at the time. Of course, they are not both of them in heaven. And then when they start the English Bible class at their house, as we sit there at the living room, we watch, learning, observing their life together. They always say, honey, I love you, and honey, thank you, I'm sorry. And then she started washing dishes. The husband stand beside and, dry, and they're so happy, always smiling. Oh, how wonderful, how happy they are. And then when I look, my mother, she served husband, my dad, like a king. And then, cook so hard, and then, I never heard Dad say thank you or I love you. Never heard that. So I decided when I get married, I want to be happy, sweet couple, like a missionary friend. Of course, when I get married, it's typical Korean man. When I said, honey, I love you, and a typical man just sitting in the living room, reading newspaper, didn't respond. So I said, I love you, and he said, okay, and I wasn't satisfied with that answer because love, expression. Right. So I said, I love you. He said, oh, me too. He said, well, can't you say I love you too? At first he said it's very hard because he's not used to express, I said, I love you until he responded, honey, I love you too. And an ongoing practice, and later on, it wasn't difficult. He just say, I love you too, and then hug, and even kiss on my cheek. So that wasn't started from the beginning. Very sweet expression of love, appreciation, happy family. And which now we have, as you approved, right?
Yes, I love it.
Here's Mary Lou Meyer speaking with her son, Brad Scow. 31 years ago, Mary Lou was 17, a college freshman, and pregnant. She wasn't ready to be a mother, so she gave her baby, Brad, up for adoption. 20 years later, he tracked her down, and they've been close ever since. Here's an excerpt from their interview.
Can you tell me about the day I was born?
The doctor took you away quickly because they'd asked if I wanted to hold you. And I said no because I was afraid if I held you, I wouldn't be able to give you up. So they took you away crying, and that was all I saw. And they didn't put me in the maternity ward because they were afraid that would be too hard for me. They just put me in the women's ward. And I remember one of the nurses coming up after you were born, and I was crying a lot. And she just came up and she just hugged me for a really long time. And she said, it's going to be okay, it just takes time. And it took, about 5 years before I stopped thinking about you every day and crying to just thinking about you every week, to the point where it